Hello, everyone. Good morning. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to the technical session 1A. Myself, Deepika Jain, and this session would be moderated by me. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation and GIA Scholastic LLP, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the 9th International Conference on Information and Communication Technology for Competitive Strategies ICTCS 2024, Jaipur, India. The session has been also done on a digital platform and in hybrid mode. The physical event is being held through in Jaipur, and the virtual event is being held through Zoom platform, that is today and tomorrow. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive sessions throughout the day. In this session, we have 10 presenters, and each presenter will be given 8 minutes for their presentation and 2 minutes for their question and answers. On 7 minutes, I'll just raise a gentle reminder. There is another request to the participants to stay connected with us till the end of the session, till the closing remarks as well. If you have any queries, you can just, drop me a message in the chat box. Now, as just before we start our session, just a minute. I would like to welcome our session chair, Dr. Bhumi Gupta. Welcome, ma'am. Dr. Bhumi Gupta is an associate professor. Just a minute.
Good morning, everybody.
Ma'am, good morning. Dr. Bhumi Gupta is an associate professor with the expertise in civil engineering and transportation engineering. Her specialized skills include transportation planning, disaster management, and computer communications. Dr. Gupta is dedicated to advanced researching and education in these interdisciplinary fields. Thank you for your presence, ma'am.
Thank you so much. And all
Mhm.
the best to all participants. My best
All the
wishes to
best.
the team also.
Yeah, all the best, everyone. We can start with our first presentation. Do we have Usha here? Usha Jogalekar? If not, I see Karthik here. Karthik, I see. Are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, are you ready with the presentation?
Yes, ma'am. I ready presentation.
Okay, wait just a minute.
Where I can share my window.
Yeah, I'll just give you the access. Just a minute. So you would be presenting a paper on intelligent traffic steering and load management with SDN, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So see, you can share your screen now.
I can start, ma'am.
Yeah, you can start.
Good morning, respected madam. My name is Karthik, and I'm pleased to introduce my co-authors Mahesh, Ray, and Vijay. Together, we have been working on exciting project titled SDN Load Balancing Management, and each of us has brought the unique strength to this project. While I focus on the implementing of the DFS algorithm and for efficient pathfinding, Mahesh has designed the network topology and Jai calculated the path from source to destination, and Vijay compared to our model with the various existing techniques to evaluate its efficiency under the guidance of Dr. Sunita V. Budhyal and Professor Sumita Godin. We aim to create the dynamic and efficient network solutions. Today, we are excited to present our finding and share our how project tackles real world challenges of modern networking. Ma'am, this is the introduction of SDN, where we have used to calculate the pathfinding, where we can control the other networking management. The increasing complexity of modern network demands better traffic management and reliability. And in traditional networking, often struggles with the bottlenecks and inefficiencies of our project leverages software-defined network to address the challenge by separating control and data planes for centralized management. The primary goal of our project is to optimize the load balancing and traffic steering to enhance our network performance. By using the SD network, we can manage the dynamic routing and central management and flexibility. because the flexibility is a more advantage rule where we can create a big network topology to send the one host to another host, where we by using the topology we used the mininet, creating a virtual setup with the 16 nodes and 8 switches, and we use the controller like RYU was used for centralized traffic management and dynamic facilitation. Our key technique is including a multipath load balancing to prevent a bottlenecks. Depth first search, by using the depth first search we can find the path from source to destination, where we can send the data from one place to another place. The action plan involved fitting the topology, calculating a shortest path with the DFS, and testing the load balancing. Like where we use the tools used like Mininet and ROI controller. OpenFlow is communication between the Mininet and the ROI controller. Like our results demonstrating significant performance improvements, like including a zero packet loss of 10 packets sent between the host H3 to H9. We achieved the high throughput with bandwidth range from 31 to 33 gigabytes per second between hosts. Latency was minimal, ensuring a reliable communication. The custom network topology, consisting of 16 hosts and 8 switches, enables us to multiple paths for load balancing. This is our methodology where you can start from the first to last, where we have used the network topology setup and the mininet, where we can use the SDN for connecting between the RYU and the mininet, and we have used the DFS algorithm to find the multiple paths with the minimal, and we can get the accuracy to reach the from source to destination. And this is our the topology with 8 switches and 16 nodes. And these are the running of ROI controller. We can ping from H3 to H9, because we are sending the 10 packets from H3 to H9 at the what time of accuracy and what we have got to send the data from H3 to H9. And our solutions offers to enhance performance by reducing congestion and improving reliability through multi-path routing. It is a scalable, suitable for a large networks with a complex traffic patterns, and has a significant social impact, supporting applications in healthcare, education, and emergency services. Compared to traditional methods like round robin, our model adapts dynamically to network conditions, offering a higher throughput and lower latency and better quality of services. In conclusion, our SDN load balancing is successfully optimized to traffic and network reliability. Further enhancement with including integrating machine learning and predictive traffic management, focusing on security images of SDN ecosystems. Here we are finding the path presents in a topology. Like you can see the 2, 3, 4, 5. It is a cost. We can give the weights to the path, and from H3 to H9, it takes the two paths. One path is 2, 3, 4, 5, and second one is 2, 1, 7, 6, 5, where it calculates the cost. After calculating the cost, it can take the one lower cost. It is 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our the present in the topology, and this is a flow entry, which works like in a ROI controller, like how much packets has been gone from source to destination, and what are the minimal accuracy and the errors where we have got. And this is a dump, where we can dump one packet to from source to destination. This is a similar from server to client, where we can use node H3 to H9, and these are the our final outputs of this project. I don't know. Where we can, our model is adaptable and scalable, efficient, where we can use the dynamic adaptation and improve the performance and scalability, fault tolerance, and enhanced QoS and cost efficiency, where we can use this type of tools, where we can improve our performance of the project. Thank you, ma'am. No, it is audible.
Yes, it's audible, Karthik.
Yes, ma'am.
It's audible, beta. It's audible.
Okay. And this is the output of where we have got from a pinging H3 to H9.
Anyone?
This is the flow entry from a source to destination by using the mininet and the RYU controller. And this is a simulate from the server to client where we can use the test between the host and the hostline or a multiple core and TCP connection achieving the high speed data transforms with bandwidth ranging from 31.3 gigabytes to 33.8 gigabytes, where it is a strong network performance and efficient resource usage. By using the server and the client, it shows the data transmission across which S1 ports to with S1 E3 port. And no packet drops, errors, or collision were reported, indicating stable network performance. And this is the conclusion of our project. And this is the project we managed with ARP and IP and traffic optimizing path cost and packet weights of quality of services.
Thank you, Path. Thank you for your presentation. You can stop sharing your screen, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we have our presenter Usha Jogalekar with us. Ma'am, are you ready with the presentation? For
Ma'am, I am ready
Ah,
for the presentation. Ashwati Prasad. Can I?
Ashwati, just a minute. You can start, Ashwati. You would be presenting a paper on institutional profile of Ayurveda medical tourism in Kerala, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can start. Start sharing your screen, please.
Can I start, ma'am?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Good morning. I am Ashwati Prasad. I am honored to be here today to share my topic with you. My topic is institutional profile of Ayurveda medical tourism in Kerala. While moving to the introduction, tourism circuits vary from country to country. Say, for example, nature tourism in Switzerland and Kashmir, religious tourism in Vatican, Jerusalem, Mecca, and Medina, adventure tourism in Himalayas or Alps, health tourism and Ayurveda tourism flowing from Africa, Middle East, and Maldives. India is ranked 10 out of 46 countries, 12th in the case of world's top 20 wellness tourism market, and 5th among 10 wellness tourism destination in Asia Pacific as per Medical Tourism Index 2020-21. Kerala has been always considered as a state in India with better health indicators and quality of life. Kerala has a distinct advantage in healthcare and medical field due to the product mix like Ayurveda, modern medicine, Siddha, yoga, and meditation. Kerala has always been visible in global health tourism map owing to the unique status in healthcare and availability of quality hospitals at a low treatment cost. The state is blessed with differing attraction with variety of health tourism products like Ayurveda, backwaters, wildlife sanctuaries, popular pilgrim centers, colorful festival, martial arts, monuments, and fantastic beaches. Ayurveda is a major contributor to Kerala health tourism industry. Now, moving to the literature review, the most important literature reviews are quoted here. The first one is the book by Lakshmipati about Ayurveda practices, gives a clear picture about uniqueness of Ayurveda compared with other modern medicine. The next one is by Varghese and Sakriyas in 2020. It explains the importance of digital platform for the development of Ayurveda tourism in Kerala. And the last one is by Acharya 2020. It points out the unimaginable importance of Ayurveda and protective mechanism of Ayurveda with no side effects. Here, my objective of my study is to evaluate the present situation of Ayurveda medical tourism. The research methodology is study make use of both primary and secondary data. The study is exploratory in nature based on the contribution of Ayurveda from medical tourism is an emerging concept. Primary data is collected from the institution functioning in the sector, that is service providers. For evaluating this institutional profile and perception, information is collected based on the representative of the institution. Multi-stage stratified random sampling techniques is used to select the sample by unfolding the whole Ayurveda health centers based on the concentration and new level of categorization based on policy formation. Research design, source of data, primary and secondary, sampling technique used, multi-state stratified random sampling, population, universe of the study, comprise of Ayurveda Medical Tourism Institution, place of the study, north, south and central district zones in Kerala. The research design is exploratory research, sample size 50 institutions engaged in Ayurveda tourism, Cochrane's formula 1977. Tools of the analysis are exploratory and confirmatory factor analysis. Limitation of the study does not cover any other forms of medical and wellness tourism. There are also several unregistered wellness and Ayurveda centers in the state. This institution does not form a part of the sample, even though the study covers perception and assessment of one of the major stakeholders, the Ayurveda medical centers or hospital. It ignores other stakeholders within the sector, like those who work in the institution, like doctors, nurses, and other workers. The secondary information regarding the study is limited owing to the lesser number of the study connecting to the area. For a robust statistical and inferential analysis requires good deal of data which at present is unavailable from any other source. This seems to be a major lacuna of this study. Next, moving to the reliability statistics of institutional questionnaire. Cochrane's Cronbach alpha is used to find out the reliability of industrial profile of Ayurveda center. The table shows that the result that construct has a reliability greater than 0.7. So we can proceed for further analysis. The data analysis and interpretation. SWOT analysis of Ayurveda medical tourism in Kerala is used here to evaluate the present situation of Ayurveda medical tourism in Kerala based on the perception of the respondents. On told statement is identified on SWOT analysis as pros and cons of medical tourism, and they are evaluated using exploratory factor analysis. A figure is shown based on the SWOT analysis. In strength, these three statements are identified. That first one is quality services at affordable cost, qualified doctors and staff, diversity in tourism destination. In weakness, lack of government support, taxation issue, lack of uniform pricing. Opportunities, increasing demand for traditional and wellness treatment, huge revenue potential, diaspora population. The threats are lack of herbs, retention of skilled doctors and staff, lack of international accreditation. Next, moving to the reliability statistics and KMO test. The table shows that the Cronbach alpha value is 0.866, which indicates internal consistency and high reliability. The next KMO value in the table shows that 0.728, which is above the minimum expected level of 0.60. Therefore, it is suitable to go ahead with exploratory factor analysis. Then the chi-square value is 280.639, indicating a significant difference between correlation and identity matrix. The result indicates to proceed with exploratory factor analysis. Next, moving to the rotated component matrix. In the table, we can identify that the variables having absolute values of above 0.50 are taken for the interpretation. For these three, the total statements are categorized into three components. The first component have 6 statements, and second and third component have 3 statements each for the value of above 0.50. In short, we can say that component 1 highlight the key obstacles and challenges connected with workforce retention, accreditation, and regulatory concerns, while component 2 stresses service quality, staff quality of the institution. Growth potential of the sector is identified as component 3. Next, moving to the structural equation model to evaluate the present condition of Ayurveda tourism. From the table, we can identify that overall reliability as statistics and statistics for 3 components extracted based on exploratory factors are shown in the table. Alpha values are within the expectable range of 0.70 to 0.95 and hence indicate the internal consistency and reliability for structural equation modeling. The 3 statements, each highlighted as threats and weakness of the industry based on SWOT analysis, feature as pitfalls, which is categorized as the first factor. The second component can be named as existing scenario, and this comprises of strength of the sector and major weakness also. The third component can be named as
Presenter,
potential.
you have 2 minutes.
Okay, madam. For analytical purpose, 12 variables can be decoded as B1 to D6. Next, moving to the summary of the hypothesis. From the summary, we can identify that the first one, the covariance of pitfall and existing scenario have a p-value of 0.02, which we can conclude that hypothesis 1 is not supported. And the second hypothesis have a p-value of 0.018. So we can conclude that hypothesis 2 is supported. Hypothesis 3, the D1 on pitfalls and existing scenario have a p-value of 0.012 and 0.028. So we can conclude that hypothesis is supported. Hypothesis 4 have a p-value 0.09, which we can conclude that hypothesis 4 is not supported. This is the structural equation modeling figure. The figure shows the covariance between pitfall and existing scenario is 0.014. The covariance between existing scenario and potentiality is 0.181. For existing scenario, the loading of D1 is 0.39. The covariance of pitfall and potentiality is 0.15, and the CI ranges from 0.39 to 26. Finally, going to the conclusion, we can conclude by saying that Ayurveda medical tourism in Kerala is perceived challenges or pitfalls as well as current scenario as a drivers of growth and opportunity, not as a deterrents or obstacles. This support based on SWOT framework, as the firm has been able to identify the weakness and threat of industry and has been able to develop the strategies for growth purpose. The perception and evaluation point towards many aspects of tourism, such as need of government support, labor, and regulatory. The main issue which came to the limelight is non-availability of Ayurvedic herbs. Econometric modeling showed the good opportunity to industries in Kerala. It also explained high investment for well positioning in this sector. If addressed properly in strategic areas, the growth potential of this sector would immense state as the state in the hub of Ayurveda and practice. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you for your presentation. Ma'am, any questions? Dr. Bhumi Gupta.
Yeah, I have a question. Ms. Rasti, you said that you have picked up the data from sources which are primary as well as secondary. How did you bifurcate that which data has to be picked up? I mean, primary and secondary sources both you have taken, but you have not elaborated on that.
Ma'am, I have taken 50 institutions from Kerala based on the zone, South, Central, and North zone. From South zone, after discussing with the expert, I have found that there are the South zone is more active in the field. So I have selected 4 districts from South zone, and from the rest of the zones, I have selected 3 districts each.
So did you pick up the data from some gazettes or some from published research data, or you just talked and, as you said, did you talk to experts and picked up the data?
Ma'am, in this case, the Ayurveda tourism industry comprises of resorts, hospitals, and all other categories. The definite populations is the population is undefinite. So I have discussed with the experts and in the field, and I have selected according to their suggestions.
And second question, that you had said that you are comparing the data by 0.7, greater than 0.7, and for PCA method for the rotated component matrix you choose 0.5. How did you choose that?
So, ma'am, based on the research, based on the research theory.
Okay, so you picked up the standard values.
Yes,
compared.
yes, ma'am. I pick up the standard valuation method based on the research.
Okay, okay. Yeah, nice, good presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can I stop sharing?
Yeah. Please stop sharing your screen. Do we have, you would be presenting a paper on exploring consumers' intention to adopt innovative banking technologies and
Yes.
analysis of fintech-enabled blockchain services, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can start your screen, ma'am.
Okay. Ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So I thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity to present my paper on exploring consumers' intention to adopt innovative banking technologies and analysis of fintech-enabled blockchain services. So let's start with the introduction. The rapid evolution of financial technology and blockchain has ushered in a new era of innovation in the banking industry. Now, when we talk about blockchain technology, it has found broader applications, specifically in banking sector, from streamlining cross-border payments to improving the identity verification and fraud prevention. Meanwhile, fintech innovations have also continued to reshape traditional banking models, which has offered more accessible, user-friendly, and personalized financial services. Now, as banks and financial institutions explore the integration of these fintech-enabled blockchain solutions into their operations, a crucial question arises, and that is, are the consumers ready to embrace these innovative approaches to banking? So the adoption of any new technology, when we talk about, particularly in a domain as sensitive as personal finance, it hinges on whether the willingness of end users is there to accept and utilize it. So my study will be delving into the heart of this question, seeking to uncover the gap between technological innovation and consumer acceptance by investigating the key factors that are influencing consumers' intention to adopt fintech-enabled blockchain technology in their banking activities. By reviewing the existing literature and proposing a comprehensive conceptual framework, this research will be seeking to provide a holistic understanding of the adoption process. I have developed a framework whereby I have explored the interplay of technological, individual, and environmental factors in shaping consumer adoption intentions. Now, technological factors are crucial in understanding how consumers evaluate the practical benefits and potential risks of these innovative banking services. At the same time, individual factors play an equally important role in the adoption process. These are the personal characteristics and experiences of the potential adopters that may affect their willingness to use blockchain technology in the banking. And then comes environmental context in which this technology adoption occurs, which is also of a critical consideration. Now, for my research, I collected more than 200 papers, and the ones which were close to my study, I have quoted here. So the principles of technology acceptance have found broad application in the fintech sector. Particularly, the researchers seek to understand the adoption of emerging technologies. One area of focus has been acceptance of blockchain technology, as was observed by Shehzad et al. In the year 2024, which has attracted considerable attention in the recent years. The adoption of blockchain-based mobile payments in Jordan is examined by 11 et al. In the year 2020, which highlighted that consumers' willingness to use these systems is primarily influenced by perceived utility of the technology and its user-friendliness. Sheen in the year 2019 explored how blockchain technology can enhance digital trust and security in various applications, including financial services. Perceived security was defined as users' subjective belief in how well a system is protected from potential risk by Arpeshi et al. In the year 2015. Ozili in the year 2019 highlighted regulatory concerns around blockchain in finance, including security aspects, which could influence consumer adoption further. In the year 2023, Kaushik et al. Provided insights on how blockchain can impact financial services, including aspects of transparency and traceability. Further studies have also shown that blockchain technology enhances transparency in financial transactions. Moving to the research gap, while previous studies have examined various factors influencing fintech adoption, there appears to be a lack of comprehensive research that integrates all three categories, that is, technological, individual, and environmental factors specifically for blockchain-based banking services. And this research gap presents the opportunity for further investigation to enhance our understanding of consumer adoption of fintech-enabled blockchain services in the banking industry. The research objectives framed for our study is to investigate the various technological, individual, and environmental factors that drive or hinder consumers' willingness to adopt fintech-enabled blockchain services in banking, and to examine the relationship between explored factors and consumers' behavioral intention to adopt blockchain technology in their banking activities. Going to the research methodology, the study utilized a quantitative analysis technique to investigate the factors influencing consumers' intention to embrace the technology. The research design was based on cross-sectional survey method. A comprehensive questionnaire is developed incorporating items to measure all the three factors taken under consideration, as well as the behavioral intention to use the technology. The target population for the study is consumers. We applied random sampling to select 800 participants. The study's validity was established through literature examination and expert questionnaire assessment. Further, factor analysis verified the construct validity, and the reliability of the questionnaire was measured with the help of Cronbach alpha, whereby the value was above 0.7, and hence it was considered to be satisfactory. So moving to the results and discussion, a factor analysis using principal component analysis with very max rotation was employed to identify the key variables influencing consumer adoption of fintech-enabled technology in banking. Before analysis, the data adequacy for factor analysis was assessed. So moving to the technological factors. In our study, we did factor analysis on 12 items that represent the technological factors driving consumers' willingness to adopt the technology. The KMO value was found to be 0.732, which was surpassing the benchmark of 0.6, confirming the data appropriateness. Barley's simplicity test produced a significant result, which was less than 0.01, further validating the factor analysis approach. The table here shows the factor loadings for the technological factor that drive consumers' willingness. As you can see, we employed principal component method for factor extraction, and the approach ultimately yielded 4 distinct factors: perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, perceived security, and perceived transparency. The statements
Ridhima,
under,
two
yes,
minutes left.
right. So the statements under which they fell are also shown here. All the retained factors had an iron value greater than 1, indicating their significance in explaining the observed variance. Moving ahead to the individual factor, again, a factor analysis on 12 items related to individual factors was done. Now here, the table is showing the factor loadings for the statements that we had asked for the individual factor. As can be seen, 4 factors were extracted: technological readiness, risk tolerance, trust in technology, and financial literacy. All the retained factors had iron value greater than 1, indicating their significance in explaining the observed variance. Further, the factor loadings for each item, as can be seen, was above 0.5 threshold, confirming the strength of the factor structure. And the last factor, that was environmental factors. In this case, we had factor analyzed 9 items. The KMO value came out to be 0.694, again exceeding the recommended 0.6 benchmark. The outcome indicated that the data was suitable for factor analysis. The table here shows the factor loadings for environmental factor along with the Cronbach alpha value for each of the factors. In this case, 3 factors were extracted: social influence, regulatory factor, and industry adoption. All the retained factors here also had an iron value greater than 1, and the factor loadings were having the value more than 0.5. Further, to test the relationship between the explored factors and consumers' behavioral intention to adopt fintech-enabled technology, we conducted a correlation test, and the analysis revealed a robust and affirmative relationship exceeding 0.6 value, with significant value being less than 0.01 between the 3 factors explored and consumers' behavioral intention to adopt blockchain technology in their banking activity. This suggested that all the examined factors significantly contribute to the behavioral intention to use fintech-enabled blockchain banking services. Moving ahead to the conclusion, this study provided a comprehensive analysis of the key factors influencing consumers' intention to adopt fintech-enabled technology in their banking industry. The findings reveal that technological factors, particularly perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, perceived security, and perceived transparency, are the strongest predictors of consumers' behavioral intention to adopt fintech-enabled blockchain banking services. Consumers are more likely to adopt these services if they believe the technology can enhance the efficiency, speed, and convenience of their financial transactions, while ensuring the protection and greater transparency in banking operations. The relatively lower factor loading and moderate Cronbach alpha value for perceived ease of use factors suggest that consumers may find it challenging to learn and interact with blockchain-based banking services. Individual factors, including technological readiness, trust in technology, and financial literacy also significantly influence the adoption intentions. Consumers with higher level of technology competence, trust in technology, and financial understanding are more inclined to adopt fintech-enabled blockchain services. The lower factor loadings and Cronbach alpha value for the risk tolerance factor indicated that it could be a significant barrier because consumers with the risk-averse mindset may be unwilling to step out of their comfort zone due to fear of financial losses, hindering the adoption of fintech-enabled services. Furthermore, the environmental factors such as social influence, industry adoption, demonstrate a moderate impact on consumers' adoption intentions, the positive opinion of family, friends, and media. And widespread industry implementation can foster greater consumer confidence and acceptance of the technology. The lower value for the regulatory framework factors suggests that lack of clear guidelines, policies, and regulatory support for the use of the technology in banking could be a barrier to the consumer adoption. And finally, these findings suggest that banks, fintech companies, and policymakers need to focus on addressing these key barriers to promote the widespread adoption of fintech-enabled blockchain services. This research further suggests various strategies to overcome these barriers, including enhancing the user-friendliness and intuitiveness of blockchain-based interfaces to improve the perceived ease of use, educating the customers on the risk and potential benefits of the technology to address risk tolerance concerns, establish clear regulatory guidelines and policies to build consumer trust and confidence in the adoption of the technology, implementing financial literacy and digital skills training programs to empower consumers and increase their understanding of innovative financial technologies, and finally, by addressing these barriers,
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Miss Deepika.
Yeah, I think she lost the
Kindly tell
connectivity.
all the participants to stick to the time.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I told
Yeah.
them in the message. Yes, yes. Radhima, are you here? I think she,
I believe she's already ended up. She was on the last point of conclusion.
yeah, ma'am, she has the another presentation as well. That's
Okay.
why. Okay. Okay, think she's lost the connectivity. No issues. Do we have our next presenter here? Aswati, are you ready with the presentation of your next paper?
Yes, ma'am. I'm ready.
Okay. So you are presenting a paper on tourist potential of Ayurveda medical tourism in Kerala.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can start sharing your screen, please.
Ma'am, is it visible?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, can I start?
Yes, please.
Good morning, all. Today I'm going to present the topic tourism potential of Ayurveda medical tourism in Kerala. While moving to the introduction, there has been a tremendous progress in health sector of Kerala, and health tourism is attracting people from outside the state and other parts of the country to Kerala. Ayurveda in Kerala gives a good blend of therapeutic and rejuvenation treatment. This makes Kerala a hub for Ayurveda medical tourists. This form of tourism is sustainable as it practices closely following the nature and considered as an alternative to modern medicine. Let's go into the statement of the problem. Literature study unequivocally highlights the manifold problems of Ayurveda health tourism in Kerala. The literature one can read only a few in order to understand the vivacity and intensity of Ayurveda health tourism. But tourism is a major sector to act as a safety valve for unemployment in the state, though the potential in this sector is large, its income and foreign exchange generation posit for newer activities in the subsector. Deficits its contribution, the sector warrants for professional tax with good Ayurvedic service provider and infrastructure. Though the potential is high, it is not exploited fully based on the quality. Hence, it needs to be used to use the ancient science with caution. Moving to the scope of the study is state of Kerala, tourism budget revenue to the state. Also, its subsector Ayurveda health tourism. The general tourists coming to the state may also make use of Ayurveda health tourism after having understand its usefulness. Those studies focusing on medical tourism and its benefits, it seems that little has covered in Ayurveda medical tourism sector. But in Ayurveda evaluation of the root and its causes help to on all-round curative and preventive system of medicine. But in inroads happened in the medical system of Kerala with modern system of medicine people are fractionally going after it. The objective of the study is to evaluate the determinants of customer satisfaction of Ayurveda medical tourism institutions in Kerala. The research methodology, the study make use of primary and secondary data. The study is exploratory in nature. Primary data is collected from domestic and international tourists visiting Kerala for Ayurveda wellness treatment. The study gives insight into the perception of tourists visiting Ayurveda medical centers in Kerala. For this, sample of 8 districts consisting of 384 patients are collected. The sampling technique used is convenient sampling. Here is a sampling framework. Kerala Ayurveda tourism is divided into 3 zones, and from South Zone, 4 districts were chosen. That is Alappuzha, Kollam, Thiruvananthapuram, Pathanamthitta, and from Central Zone, Ernakulam and Kottayam, and North Zone, Thrissur and Kozhikode. From the South Zone, 6 institutions were considered, and from Central Zone, 7 institutions were considered, and from Central Zone and North Zone, 6 institutions each were taken. By convenient sampling, 384 tourists were selected for the part of the study. Literature review, the major ones are quoted here. The first one is by Rahman about medical tourism activity, which are impressive to harness the global market. The next one is gives idea about healthcare services and pattern in Indian economy by Bargil and Aishwarya, 2022. Next one is by Alonso and Rojan, tries to present the importance of sustainable tourism and tourism agenda of 2030. Moving to the data analysis and interpretation, binary logistic regression analysis is performed to evaluate the impact of 5 major indicators of service quality, which is tangible, responsiveness, reliability, assurance, and empathy on the satisfaction of Ayurveda medical tourists on service providers in Kerala. Moving to the table, this one is omnibus test of model coefficient. Here from the table, we can identify that it shows a chi-square value of 75.575 with a 5 degree of freedom and a significant levels of 0.00, indicating the model with the predicators is significantly better than the constant only model. Next, moving to the results of variables in equation, the logistic regression table results are shown in the table. The tangible is not significant with a p-value of 0.496. Hence, it can infer that tangible does not have a significant impact on customer satisfaction. Other variables like reliability, responsiveness, assurance, empathy are significant, which indicate that these variables significantly contribute to the customer satisfaction. This is the summary of hypothesis testing result for customer satisfaction and service quality indicators. The first one is tangible. Tangible factor does not have a significant effect on customer satisfaction. The outcome is not significant with a p-value of 0.496. So we can conclude to fail to reject the null hypothesis. The reliability hypothesis is the reliability does not have a significant effect on customer satisfaction with a p-value of 0.001. So we fail to reject the null hypothesis. The next one is responsiveness, which does not have a significant effect on customer satisfaction with a p-value 0.002. So we reject the null hypothesis. Assurance does not have an effect on customer satisfaction with a p-value greater than 0.0 less than 0.001, so reject the null hypothesis. Empathy does not have a significant effect on customer satisfaction with a p-value less than 0.001, so to reject the null hypothesis. The table depicts the summary of hypothesis tested and based on the logistic regression model. Since the indicators like reliability, responsiveness, assurance, and empathy are significant, hence null hypothesis in this regard is rejected. For tangibles, due to this insignificant result, we result to fail the null hypothesis. Next, moving to the recommendations of this study, Kerala has a rich natural resource and nature-based tourism destination, including eco-tourism spots are abundant. Effective marketing of these in the global arena will help in bringing foreign exchange. Kerala is often considered as a hub of Ayurveda, hence any increased demand will be an opportunity for the state to capitalize. Specialized plans by state government in this regard will help to reap the future growth potentiality of this sector in Kerala. The quality of services and potential of Kerala Ayurveda medical tourism is highly dependent on the support provided by the government. This will be pivotal in giving growth to the sector and helping the sector to maintain service quality, attractiveness, competitiveness of this sector. One of the major concerns with the Ayurveda medical tourism sector is unprecedented growth of unauthorized and unregulated massage centers and Ayurveda therapy institution. Authorities need to look into the issue and derive a framework to
2 minutes left.
Yes, ma'am. To regulate the players in the industry and stop unauthorized center. Yoga, gym, libraries, prayer areas, herbal gardens are all should be added to the Ayurveda resorts to attract the customers and involve Ayurvedic healing process. Lack of uniform pricing is a major concern which make it difficult for the tourists who are choosing the attraction. Contribution of the study, a Kerala is specific for potential of Ayurveda medical tourism, first of its kind. The study captures perception of the visitors based on primary data. The perception analysis through ample information for shaping Ayurveda medical tourism sector in Kerala. The present study based on the stakeholder perception evaluate medical tourism sector with a special focus to Ayurveda medical tourism sector in Kerala. Next, moving to the conclusion, Ayurveda medical tourism in Kerala is slowly picking up. This is because of the increased cost of meditation globally. This is the main reason for attracting Ayurveda global tourists to Kerala. Another pertinent reason to make of Ayurveda wellness treatment and yoga, which is entirely different from European American spa therapy. Ayurveda has a cultural legacy and all-round healing of body and mind is a well-entrenched, hence it uses. Attraction of inbound and outbound tourists made the sector making satisfaction with right quality. Thank you all.
Thank you for your presentation, Ashwati.
Thank
Ma'am,
you,
any
ma'am.
questions?
No questions. It was all good.
Oh,
Thank you, ma'am. Can I stop sharing, ma'am?
yeah, yes, please.
Thank you so much.
We have our next presenter. Yes, Sharina, are you here?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. You would be presenting a paper on vision-based plastic identification, a comprehensive survey on the
Deep learning model.
deep learning methods. Yeah. Are you ready?
Yes. Can I share my screen?
Yes, you can share your screen now. Your screen is visible. You can start.
Okay. Good morning, all. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm Sharina from Amrita University. I'm here to present my survey titled Vision-Based Plastic Identification, a comprehensive survey on deep learning methods. So we'll be going through the importance of plastic management, especially waste plastic, the motivation, and we'll be going to my topic, vision-based plastic identification. I'll be discussing about the image processing and deep learning methodologies used, existing data sets, then finally some result analysis, limitations, and future research gaps. So introduction, waste plastic management. We know that plastic waste is very dangerous. Its rapid accumulation and slow decomposition, as well as the limited availability of landfill for disposal is making a concern for the global concern. So focus of this survey will be on exploring various image processing and deep learning strategies for identifying and detecting plastics, then drawing some insights from existing literatures to identify the challenges and trends. So motivation behind this survey is we know that plastics are affordable, persistent, corrosion resistant and flexible, and as well as it will disrupt the food chain and ecosystem. It is dangerous to the humankind. So according to the World Bank report 2024, around 350 million tons of plastic is annually produced. Only 20%, only 10% is recycled. The remaining 70% are dumped in lands, and 20% become pollutants. Then coming to ocean plastics, 1.7 million tons of plastics are dumped in ocean also. So this toxicity and hazardous plastic waste will demand effective recycling. So coming to plastic recycling, there are two kinds of recycling, chemical and physical. Chemical recycling will involve chemical equations and it may produce hazardous residue. So it's not a good method. So coming to physical recovery, it involves the collection of the waste objects, sorting, washing, crushing, and finally drying. So among this, sorting is the major point of view. So there are two kind of sorting, manual and automatic sorting. In manual sorting, we all know that it is labor intensive and economically unviable, and it may pose health risk. So I'm interested in automatic sorting. According to automatic sorting, there are two kinds: material classification and color classification. So my focus is on vision based plastic identification, only plastic waste. So this is the flowchart of my paper. I'll be going through the acquisition, how the images are collected, then the pre-processing steps, segmentation, feature extraction, finally some deep learning classification and detection models, then analyzing the results, limitations, and gaps. So we know that in image acquisition, usually cameras will be used like RGB, grayscale, smartphone cameras, etc. Then there will be a conveyor belt system where the images will be flowed. Then the illumination units may be the normal lighting or any LED light or fluorescent lamp. Then image processing, in image pre-processing, main technique is filtering. So usually low pass filters, average filters, median filter, salt and pepper noise filter, all these will be used in these papers. I have gone through around 30 papers, so most of them have used these methods. Then in order to do data augmentation, geometric transformations like rotation, cropping, scaling, flipping were used. Then some morphological operations and color adjustments like histogram equalization, weighted average graying. Then segmentation is performed in different ways using threshold segmentation, edge detection, especially Sobel mask edge detection, then background subtraction, region growth algorithms, Euclidean distance transformation. Then objects are localized using segmented ROI, bounding box algorithms, and region proposal networks. Then they have also gone through semantic segmentation. Then coming to the feature extraction phase, the main features they have encountered were some color features through histogram of intensity, and relief algorithm is used for extracting good colors. Then some of the geometric features they encountered were perimeter, centroid, contour momentum, etc. Then usual dimensionality reduction techniques like PCA, KPCA, then LDA were also used. Then main focuses were on attention mechanisms like skews and excitation, convolution block attention module, etc. Then coming to the classification models, we know that traditional machine learning models were used in the earlier papers. So they have utilized decision tree classifiers, quadratic discriminant analysis, support vector machines, Bayesian decision, that is supervised learning with a maximum a posteriori and likelihood ratio. Then the main deep learning models used were AlexNet, CNN, VGC16, then SkewsNet, ResNet, DCNN, Deep CNN, and some custom models were also used. The specialized techniques or the upcoming techniques used in some of these papers were single shot learning, single shot detection using Siamese and triplet loss networks, then deep reinforcement learning, deep Q-learning network, efficient det, etc. Coming to the deep learning detection models, they have used some region-based detection models like faster RCNN, mask RCNN, then efficient det. Then YOLO is also applied with the help of transfer learning and fine-tuning. Some of the hybrid techniques used were combining CNN, ResNet, MobileNet, DenseNet, and SVM. So these coming to the data sets which are available, I have encountered around 12 data sets, mainly TrashNet, Wadaba dataset, VN Trash, TACO, then Deep Trash, garbage classification dataset, Open Litter Map, Trash Box, etc. So this table is giving just the number of images present in these datasets, the what are the labels and the classes, or if there are any subclasses present. So most of these data sets were labeling the objects as glass, paper, cardboard, plastic, metal, and trash. And also according to the resin identification code, classifications were done like PET, PP, polyethylene, uh, then low density and high density, polystyrene, polyvinyl chloride, etc. Then some classifications were like organic, inorganic, and medical waste. Then some datasets like TACO and OpenLitterMap were dealing with waste in the wild. Then there are ocean plastics also. So result analysis part, actually I have divided the analysis into different parts. First one is depending on the machine learning models. So from these papers, decision tree and QDA was able to perform well on clear plastics as well as opaque plastics, but they failed, or they gave poor performance with deformed plastics. Then SVM, linear SVM, binary SVMs, all these SVM variants were able to achieve good accuracy, especially
Dear
for.
presenter, you have 2 minutes left.
Okay, okay. Coming to deep learning models, most of the transfer learning methods were able to get good accuracy, but they are giving lower accuracy for lightweight models. YOLO, V4, EfficientNet, etc. were having good detection, good classification and detection accuracies, but they are challenged by small litter recognition and class imbalance. Some of the advanced models in detection were fast RCNN and mask RCNN. They were also good in giving good detection in detecting plastic from organic waste, but there are some false positives or negatives encountered. Then and computational overhead is also a disadvantage. And the emerging technique like one-shot learning, it is giving a good accuracy, classification as well as detection accuracy, but adaptation to real world uses yet to be focused. Then efficient D2 is also giving slightly less accuracy, and because of the performance affecting in the imbalanced data set. So the limitations that I have concluded from these papers were, one thing is misclassification, that is some bottles were misclassified with mainly damaged plastics or deformed plastics and due to lighting conditions. Then transparent and overlapping bottles are unable to segment properly. There are operational challenges like noisy features, manual camera setup, slow processing. Then even there are issues with model like limited efficiency of traditional models and the imbalanced data set. Then system complexity happens because of high false positive, limited base coverage and computational burden. Then coming to the generalization, there are overfitting problems and poor real world performance. So the future research directions include segmentation of transparent and overlap objects, multi-object localization, multi-class classification, addressing damaged plastics or deformed plastics, waste in clutter or complex scenes. So the ultimate goal will be to create a commercially viable waste sorting system that enhances the recycling accuracy and can operate in the real world settings and to contribute to a circular economy. So the focus is on mainly on the classification and detection that enables recycling properly. So these were the references that I have used. Then thank you.
Thank you for your presentation, Sharina. Ma'am, any questions?
No, Ms. Deepika, no questions. It was all well structured. Even the references were properly cited. I looked at the last slide.
Uh, Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, most welcome.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Sharina. You can just
Okay.
stop sharing your screen, please. Okay. So we have our next presenter, Radhima,
Yes, ma'am.
who would be presenting a paper on the pivotal role of digital era leadership, examining traits that catalyze employee engagement, mitigate turnover, and propel sustainable organizational success. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, you can start sharing your screen, please.
Yes, ma'am. So good morning, everybody again. So I'm going to present on the topic of the pivotal role of digital era leadership, examining traits that catalyze employee engagement, mitigate turnover, and propel sustainable organizational success jointly with my scholar, Shamla Shankar Mudalayar. We are from School of Management, Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science, Chennai. So let us get started with the introduction. Now, in today's evolving digital landscape of modern business, the significance of effective leadership has reached unprecedented levels. as today's organizations are grappling with the challenges which are unique to the digital age, from accelerated technological disruption to the imperative of sustainable practices and evolving workforce expectations. The role of leaders in shaping a sustainable corporate future has come under intense scrutiny. Now, Deepa is going to delve into the critical relationship between digital era leadership traits and their profound impact on employee engagement, turnover rates, and overall sustainable organizational success. Now, when we talk about employee engagement in the digital age, it has taken on new dimensions, referring not only to the emotional commitment of the employees, but also to their digital literacy levels, adaptability, and alignment with sustainable practices. And this link between digital era leadership and employee engagement is no doubt undeniable, with emerging studies demonstrating that leadership style, digital acumen, and the commitment to sustainability are among the most significant factors which are influencing the engagement of modern organizations. Equally critical is the issue of employee turnover in this digital age, a challenge which has been thrown by the global nature of the talent markets and the rapid pace of technological change. High turnover rates not only incur the substantial costs in terms of recruitment and training, but also is disrupting digital transformation efforts and the organization's progress towards sustainability goals. As such, identifying the leadership traits that foster loyalty, promote continuous learning, and reduce turnover in a digital environment has become a critical priority for businesses looking for long-term stability and sustainable growth. Moving to the review of literature, in this digital era, the very essence of leadership, as I said, is evolving, transforming the concept of leadership. The changes in the leadership and the study of leadership in digital age was highlighted as necessitating development of innovative lenses by Banks et al. In the year 2022. In the year 2018, Schwarz-Muller and his team identified key competencies for the digital leaders, including digital literacy, adaptability, and the ability to foster innovation. Building on this, Cortelezo et al. In the year 2019 emphasized the importance of leaders' capacity to navigate digital transformation while maintaining a human-centric approach. Atron et al. In the year 2020 investigated the role of AI in fostering employee engagement, particularly through personalized learning experiences and career development opportunities. The year 20, a study was done by Al-Haider, whereby they found the influence of responsible leadership on personal retention. They investigated the connection between talent retention and responsible leadership, and also showed a strong correlation between talent retention and responsible leadership. Further, a study in the year 2024, which was done recently by Stoico, established a strong correlation between digital employee engagement and organizational performance, emphasizing the need for leaders to cultivate a digitally engaged workforce. Now, after going through the literature, we came across this research gap. While extensive research has been conducted on various aspects of digital leadership, employee engagement, and organizational success, there remains a need for comprehensive studies that integrate these elements within the context of sustainability. Additionally, on specific digital leadership traits on measurable organizational outcomes. Furthermore, the rapid pace of technological advancement necessitates ongoing research to ensure that our understanding of effective leadership in the digital era remains current and applicable. The literature review set the stage for our study, which aimed to address these gaps and provide a holistic understanding of how the digital leadership era traits catalyze employee engagement, mitigate turnover, and propel sustainable organizational success in the digital age. The objectives framed for my study are to identify and thereby classify the traits particularly related to digital era leadership. And further, we are going to examine the intricate relationship between these traits, employee engagement, turnover rate, and sustainable organizational success. Further, we have also come up with a comprehensive model for the study. The research study employed a quantitative research approach. Structured survey instrument was used to collect data from the respondents. A 5-point Likert scale ranging from strongly agree to disagree was used. The scale's reliability confirmed through convex alpha analysis with a strong internal consistency of 89.3%, which strengthened the reliability of the study. And the target respondents were employees from various technology companies across different industries, namely across software development and IT services, cloud computing and infrastructure services, e-commerce and digital platforms, telecommunications, fintech companies, automobile companies, and the sample size used was 757. Moving to the results and discussion, the sample size of 757 respondents from tech companies reflect a workforce predominantly aged 25 to 40, with the majority in bachelor's degree, that is around 89%, and males comprise 60% sample, aligning with the typical industry gender distributions. Most respondents have 3 to 15 years of experience in the technology industry.
Sorry
The
to
sample
interrupt,
spans.
Ridhima, sorry to interrupt, but I think next slide is not there. It's not being shared. Please check the
Okay.
results slide.
Yes, ma'am. Just, yeah.
Yeah, now it is. Now it is.
All right. I think network is not stable.
No, that's perfectly okay. That's okay.
Yeah, so the sample spans various companies with original medium to large organizations. Hybrid work arrangements are prevalent, indicating the industry's adaptation to flexible work model, which indicated a 50% of, and this demographic profile provides a comprehensive backdrop for analyzing the digital era leadership traits and their impact. Ma'am, is the next slide visible?
Just take
Results
it.
and discussion.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
visible.
yeah, it is shared. Yes.
Okay. So to understand the key digital era leadership traits, uh, we used factor analysis, specifically principal component analysis with Verimax rotation was employed. Before delving into the analysis, to ensure the data, whether they were suitable for the method, was conducted. The Kaiser-Meyer-Olkin venture was found to be 0.892, comfortably above the 0.5 threshold. Barley's test of specificity was also good enough and was less than 0.001. The number of factors to retain using the latent root criterion were determined, and the factor with loadings greater than 0.50 were considered for the study, which resulted in 4 interpretable traits. So the first factor that extracted out of the exploratory factor analysis was found to be digital literacy. Now, the digital literacy factor captures the leader's proficiency and fluency with emerging digital technologies and their business applications. This includes their ability to leverage a wide range of digital tools and platforms to enhance organizational efficiency, productivity, and innovation. In-depth interviews with the leaders revealed that high digital literacy often introduces streamlined work processes, leading to increased employee satisfaction and engagement. One of the employees stated, our manager's understanding of AI tools has improved our workflow. It makes me feel more productive and engaged in my work. Leaders who scored highly on this factor demonstrated a deep understanding of the digital landscape and actively encouraged a culture of digital experimentation and continuous learning within the organization. All the factor loadings for the statements given here were above
Sorry
0.5,
for the
which
interruption
shows that
here.
all the 4 items highly influence. Yes, ma'am.
Just have 2 minutes. Please conclude.
Yes, ma'am, and contribute to the overall factor of digital literacy. The second factor explored is inclusive communication skills. This factor represents the leader's ability to effectively utilize a variety of digital channels to engage and collaborate with the employees regardless of their location or role. Employees consistently reported feeling more valued and included when their leaders actively sought out and incorporate diverse perspectives. One of the employees during the interview stated, our manager always ensures everyone's voice is heard in physical and virtual meetings, regardless of the leader's position. It makes us feel like an important part of the team. The third factor explored was vision for sustainability, which reflects the leader's ability to articulate a clear and compelling strategic vision for the organization's sustainability goals and initiatives. Interaction with the employees highlighted their leaders' vision for sustainability and makes them feel connected to a larger, meaningful mission, which makes them motivated, committed, and satisfied their work. Again, there were 4 statements which were asked to the employees, and all of them had a factor loading above 0.5. which highly shows that all the statements contribute to the overall factor vision for sustainability. And the last factor revealed was remote team management. The proficiency in remote team management factor captures the leader's skill in effectively coordinating and supporting the virtual and geographically distributed items. Employees iterated by fostering a positive remote work environment. Their leaders have built an environment of trust, supported employees' well-being, and enhanced their overall job satisfaction. In fact, one employee said, "I love working remotely, but I know it can be isolating. My manager is amazing at keeping us connected and motivated. They always make time for one-to-one chats, and I feel like they genuinely care about my well-being and career growth." So the identification of these four distinct factors provided
I think
valuable
you need to, come to
insights
the
in the,
conclusion now,
yes, ma'am,
Pratima.
into
Please
the
come to the
specific, yes, digital era. And finally, the correlation was being done, whereby it was found all the digital leadership era traits are highly correlated with employee engagement, talent retention, and sustainable organizational success. This suggests that all the examined leadership traits significantly contribute to the outcomes. And moving ahead to the conclusion, the study provided valuable insights into the pivotal role of digital era leadership in driving employee engagement, mitigating turnover, and propelling sustainable organizational success. Four key leadership traits emerged as particularly influential in the digital age. The findings revealed strong positive correlation between these leadership traits and the employee engagement, talent retention, and sustainable organizational success. Leaders who demonstrate proficiency in these areas create a work environment that not only attracts and retains top talent, but also empowers employees to thrive in between rapid technological changes and increasing focus on sustainability. Furthermore, the study confirms the interconnected nature of employee engagement, talent retention, and organizational success through the correlation analysis that was being conducted. Engaged employees are more likely to remain with their organizations and contribute to the long-term success, particularly when guided by effective digital era leadership, as was seen through the correlation analysis. By developing these leadership traits, organization can boost engagement, lower turnover, and achieve sustainable success in the evolving digital marketplace. So that's all about my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ridhima. Thank you for the presentation. Any questions, ma'am?
Yeah, I have two very basic questions from Ms. Ridhima. Ridhima, first of all, I think in references, I found that 2023-24 onwards, the references are missing. So is it a a work which has been concluded near 22 end or something?
No, ma'am. Actually, there are references related to 23 and 24 also.
Okay, I couldn't
Because
see it.
the
Maybe.
paper that I have submitted, there
Mhm.
in the references, I have quoted literature from 23 and 24.
Okay, okay. And another very basic question. See, you have taken up 757, right?
Yes, ma'am.
757 number of employees. Are they from the same organization and of the same type, or they are from different organizations? Because a case of bias can automatically come in when you incorporate same organization or industry.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, when I was talking about my research methodology, during that time, I stated that we have taken
Mm-hmm.
technology companies from different industries. We have taken software
Oh, okay.
development and IT
Okay.
services. We have taken
Mhm.
telecommunications. We have taken fintech. We have taken automobile industry.
Mhm.
And
So
further,
we,
the company size classification that we have taken large enterprises are greater than 1,000 employees. 35% of the respondents from there. Medium-sized companies, we took the respondents categorized as 45%, and from small scale companies, we took around 20% employees.
Mm-hmm. Then it's
So that
okay.
was how
I
we
was a
had
little confused.
bifurcated.
Right, right. Then it is all good. All good. Right.
Right,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, Ridhima.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah.
Madam, next paper ID
Yes,
83.
yeah,
Shall I
you
share?
have the presentation on Spark Innovation, the role of intelligent systems in enhancing entrepreneurial innovation.
Yeah.
You
Thank you,
can
professors.
start. Thank you. Share your
Thank you,
screen, sir.
professors. Shall I share this?
Yes,
slide.
sir. Yes, please.
Madam, my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Screen is
You
visible.
can. Yes, yes. You can
Yeah,
show your
okay.
full screen. Yes, sir.
So I am Dr. Suresh. My scholar, Miss Alka TA. So we both of them, we are working in this area of the here Spark innovation, role of intelligent systems in enhancing entrepreneurial innovation system. So we both of them joined together. We will start. We will present this paper. I request Miss Alka. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So the study is mainly about how this intelligent systems is applicable in entrepreneurial innovation. So here we are analyzing the intelligent systems, the recent technologies that is important for the continuous entrepreneurial innovations. So in entrepreneurial innovation, which means that innovating new ideas and how these ideas can be transformed to the practice. It may be in the form of products or services, and how it is contributing to the customer satisfaction, society development, and also the overall development of the economy. So nowadays, the technology is most crucial, important thing for the entrepreneurial success, like AI, ML, and IoT. All these are coming to the picture. So these innovation technologies contribute to the decision making, and this also is important for the meeting control competitions, new product development. So here we are analyzing the how these all these intelligent systems are helpful for the entrepreneurial efficiency, and how this is crucial for the resilience and sustainability, and how this is inculcating the competitive advantage to the entrepreneur ventures. So next slide. So this research is mainly exploring the different intelligent systems that is applicable in entrepreneurial innovations, and how these are applicable, like where this is most crucial in entrepreneur in enterprises. So here we are applying the here we are testing the applications development and intelligent systems role. The novelty of the study is how is the none of the studies that explores the intelligent systems application as well as the challenges from the entrepreneurial perspective. So here we are analyzing the whole literature up to the July to the 2024 to map the existing research trend on the intelligent systems and entrepreneurs. So here mainly we are analyzing from the perspective of SMEs and startup. So we can see that most of the research that explains about the large scale enterprise perspective. So the less research that they are exploring about the startups, that is initial stage of entrepreneur journey, as well as the small and medium enterprises, how they are applying these intelligent systems. So the three research questions that we set in the study is the need for intelligent systems, and then how this is shaping entrepreneurial innovation, and what are the applications and challenges of intelligent system. So next slide. So here also we are following the lit-based most important systematic literature review protocol PRISMA through major 4 stages: introduction, screening, eligibility, and inclusion of the literature. So next slide. So introduction stage, this is the first stage. Here we are searching the papers on the database, and based on the keywords. Here we are using the Scopus and Dimension database. So not limited to any one database, and 2 databases are included. And here also, because these are the most indexed database, and here we can have the quality papers. And Dimensions is a database that comprises the papers that is published in PubMed, Scopus, Web of Science. So the quality and the content coverage is ensured through selecting these 2 databases. Firstly, we identify 85 documents, and 67 from this comprises 67 from Scopus and 18 from Dimensions database. So next. So screening, next we apply moving to the screening phase. Here the limiting the data papers into language, that is English language, and duplication. So two duplicate documents found in the dimension database with the replicated with the scopus. So 71 documents that we are limiting in this stage. And eligibility means the papers which are full text access is available. So the full text access papers are selected. And finally we identified 47 papers relating to the intelligent systems and entrepreneurship application. So figure 1 is the Prisma protocol, and this is the final search string that we used for the comprehensive literature search. So here we are here after reviewing these papers through the Prisma, identified through the Prisma protocol, we identify that the intelligent systems which are mostly applicable in the entrepreneurs, AI, IoT, robotics, big data, and other automation technologies. And the major role is coming to the decision making, because the large scale data that is dealing with the entrepreneurs, so they are unable to process this large data, and then they are unable to manually to track the forecasting as well as demand. So this intelligent systems which helps them to analyze the large data by analyzing the data and responding to the environment. So the agility of the operations and fast innovation is the major thing that they can benefit from these intelligent systems, and it is most important for the facing the competition. So artificial intelligence is most important intelligence system that they are applying, especially in the cases of data analysis. So next slide. So the major advantage that we've identified from the literature is the automation of the activities in lead to the operational efficiency. It's also increase the productivity, resource optimization, and real-time innovation, especially while looking into the case of startups. So the ideation stage to maturity stage, the process is most important. From the idea generation onwards to the process development, the product development, and also delivery services, also these systems are playing crucial role. So the industry 4.0 is a major era that we can see this technologies are mostly contributing to the entrepreneurs. So AI mainly enhance the efficiency, competitive advantage, resilience, the most important technology during the industry 4.0 era. And the industry in the internet of things and AI also most important technology that coming to the industry 4.0 which affects in the entrepreneurship. The next one is the what are the applications that we identified. So first application is the performance management and the receptivity and adaptability to the market, which means they are sensing the environment and based on the solutions that they are helping. So the SMEs are using using these advantages for the
The presenter, you have 2 minutes left.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. So the AI is also fostering the entrepreneur education, especially we can see the tech startup, and it also one of the most critical challenges that we can identify here is the ethical responsibility while using this data based analysis. So high cost of implementation, upskilling, training, and development is required, and also the technical challenges is also one of the most because we have to update with the technology. So the technology updation is also one of the challenges that faced by the entrepreneurs in order to remain in the competitive world. So next slide. So these are the proposed methodology that we are identified. So the intelligent systems and their application areas, especially in the consumer analysis and analytics, and the monitoring control, the training, supply chain management, human intelligence, problem solving, and security and authentication. As an next slide. So the findings is major applications is for decision making, real-time customer experience, product development, risk assessment, and supply chain management. And the major challenges is based on is mainly applied faced by the entrepreneurs while adopting these Indian systems are high cost, upskilling, training and development, cost and expertise. So next slide. So limitations, especially this is a literature review study. The paper only covers the literatures until the July 2024. So we can say that literature review is not constant, and we are applying certain inclusion exclusion criteria. If we not limiting to the literature set based on this inclusion exclusion criteria, then the results and the papers will also change. So the lack of first hand information is one of the important challenges of this study. So in future also, we are proposing the future research based on primary database studies to understand the real story and also including the perception of the entrepreneurs about the intelligent systems application. So these are the three topics that we are identified from the cyber topic prominence percentage. So supply chain system development and blockchain role, the Intel systems role in the entrepreneurship in these areas, and how the e-learning and cloud computing the Intel systems are applicable for the edtech startup and the engineering education innovations and entrepreneurship. Cloud computing is mainly we are proposing for the edtech startup, and the AI, ML, and these ventures based are playing these AI and ML are playing crucial role for the entrepreneur ventures. So here we are just broadly explaining what are the applications of Intel systems. So in future, there is a specific study that we can do by exploring the components of Intel systems particularly. So these are the future research topics that we are proposing. So these are the references and included studies for this paper. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation, Suresh and
Yeah.
Alka.
Thank you.
Ma'am, any questions?
No questions, but congratulations to Dr. Suresh that the work
Thank you, madam.
presented by Sir's scholar is very good and to the point. My best wishes to the scholar also. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
yes,
you so
madam.
much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
And
Yes,
thank
sir.
you to the
Most welcome.
ICTCS also. Thank you so much.
Thanks for giving opportunity to us to present this work. So thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, ma'am.
We have our next presenter, Usha Jogalekar, with us. Usha, are you here?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Yeah,
Am
you
I
would be
audible?
presenting a paper on a systematic review on advances in cloud computing, security, and threats.
Yes, ma'am, yes.
You can start sharing your screen.
Yeah. Is my screen shared?
Yeah. You can do
Yeah,
the full
thank
screen and you can start.
Yeah. So my paper is a systematic review on advances in cloud computing security and threats. I, along with my co-authors, Sonali Kothari and Isham Kedike, we are presenting this. I am Usha Zoglekar. To begin with, let's start with what is cloud computing. I hope the screen is moving. I mean, the slide has been started.
Yes,
Next to the
Yes.
next slide.
Yeah, it started. It's shareable.
Okay, ma'am. So cloud environments are a deployment strategy where one or more cloud services build systems for business and end users. So we all know there are three types of clouds present: information as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service, as PaaS and SaaS. So basically, cloud computing is sharing the things. When we share the infrastructure with others, then it is called as infrastructure as a service. Per platform, I mean, which system needs to be shared, it is platform as a service. And if we are using a software, so it is a software as a service. So basically, the concept is use, pay, and done. So this is how the cloud has been implemented. So there are different types of clouds available. Public cloud, so which is publicly available to all. Many examples are there. All the shopping sites are public. Private third party, that means for any organization, we have a private cloud available, but the third party is maintaining that.
Usha, kindly check your connection, please.
Is private in-house.
Hello, Usha. Usha, kindly check your connection and come back again. You are not audible at all. Do we have the presenter of leveraging deep learning for fraud detection in financial transactions here? The paper
Yes,
title.
yes, ma'am.
Are you ready with the presentation, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
You are going to present on behalf of
Pavithanuj, Miss Pavithanuj, yes.
Swanand Garge. Okay, sir. Please
Yes,
start sharing screen.
sure. Ma'am, is the screen visible?
Not, yeah, it's visible now. And you're audible as well. You can start.
Okay. So, hello everyone, I'm Swananda and today I'll be discussing on deep learning transforming the fraud detection in financial transactions. Well, with the rise of digital payments, we know that security is often compromised and that is our main priority here. So, that led us to our goal. The goal is to build a system that accurately detects fraud while minimizing the false positives to maintain user trust. Advanced model addresses evolving fraud patterns better than traditional systems. Using behavioral network analysis, the system ensures secure transactions and boost user confidence. Well, for this, we tried using the deep learning method. But why deep learning? Because it adapts to the new fraud tactics better than the traditional systems. By analyzing user behavior and transaction networks, we can make financial transactions more secure and support a safe digital economy. Moving on, we started with preparing and collecting the data. We collected the data from various relevant sources from let's say Kaggle. Then we cleaned it, we transformed it, removing the duplicates and handling the missing values. Finally, we went to the feature extraction phase where we extracted features such as transaction amount, location, and more relevant to the topic. Moving on to the mind map, here you can see some of the topics that were discussed earlier and now that we are going to discuss. Starting with the pre-processing input data, like I said, we transformed the data. We used machine learning models such as logistic regression, decision trees, gradient boosting, support vector machines, and isolation forest models to find patterns and predict fraudulent activities. So similar to machine learning, we use deep learning integration. We use two deep learning models that utilize dense layers with ReLU activation and sigmoid output for binary classification. The second model incorporates dropout layers to prevent overfitting, enhancing the accuracy and generalization. With machine learning and deep learning, we also used certain detection methods like rule-based detection, real-time scoring, and network and behavioral analysis. Moving on, I would like to tell you more about the machine learning models. As you can see, we use logistic regression that predicts fraud probabilities, the decision trees that breaks the data into conditions for clear predictions, then the gradient boosting that corrects earlier errors for precise results. Then comes the support vector machine that has the key feature of kernel functions that handles the non-linear separations. In short, it separates frauds from the genuine cases. Then comes the isolation forest. Isolation forest is nothing but detects outliers. Outliers are some normal, not some normal values, values that are too abnormal for a normal data set. I'll be explaining that further. Moving on to the deep learning models. In the first deep learning model, we have an input layer that accepts pre-processed input features. Then the first network layer is connected with the ReLU activation. The second layer is also fully connected with the ReLU activation. In the output layer, we see sigmoid activation for binary classification. In the second deep learning model, it is quite similar to the first model, but has a dropout layer that randomly drops a fraction of neurons to prevent overfitting, as discussed earlier. All this results in the 99.3% accuracy, but that is not just the key highlight of our system. The system employs multiple layers of protection, including deep learning models, gradient boosting, anomaly detection algorithms, working in harmony to protect financial transactions. Our approach not only maintains high accuracy, but ensures minimal disruption to legitimate transactions, providing a seamless experience for genuine users while maintaining the robust security measures. To jot down some of the key points, we have multi-model approach with the 99.93% accuracy, a real-time transaction monitoring and assessment, behavioral anomaly detection for enhanced security, automated risk scoring and decision-making system, as well as minimal false positives to ensure smooth user experience. Here are some results from the models and algorithms that we used. I'd like you to just go through it and I can move forward. Sorry, yeah. Okay, with that, we have the ROC. ROC is the receiver operation characteristic curve. The ROC curve, in this case, shows us fraud versus genuine. Like we can see true positive rate and false positive rate. The x-axis here shows the false positive rate and the y-axis shows the true positive rate. So what does it show? What does this graph actually means? Let's say the closer the curve to the top left of the graph, we can say the performance is better. So as you can see, this is the first deep learning model, the second deep learning model. The logistic regression is quite less accurate than the other ones. That's why we can see the areas of everyone. Moving on further to the final reflections and the future approaches. A real-time fraud detection system. The development of AI-driven real-time transactions monitoring system is to detect and block fraudulent activities as they occur. Integration of dynamic machine learning models that continuously learn and adapt to the new fraud patterns without requiring manual updates. Regulation technology, yeah, RegTech integration. Enhanced fraud detection system aligned with the regulatory requirements for seamless compliance. Use of AI-powered tools to automate audits and real-time adherence to anti-fraud laws. Moving on to the collaborative fraud detection networks, establishing industry-wide platforms where financial institutes share anonymized data to identify cross-institutional fraud patterns. Then the behavioral biometrics and analysis. Use of biometrics data such as typing patterns, device usage habits, and geolocation for fraud detection. Enhancing the security by linking user behavior with the advanced fraud detection models to identify deviations. And the last but not the least, future-proofing fraud detection. Continuous innovation through the partnership between financial institutes, tech firms, and academia to stay ahead of the
Dear
evolving fraud.
presenter, you have 2 minutes left.
Sure, I'm ending it, yeah. Adoption of agile methodologies to quickly deploy and scale new fraud detection solutions as a threat emerges. Here is our team, meet the team, and thank you so much for giving me time, and any questions will be appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Any
Yeah,
questions, ma'am?
and no questions, Deepika, for this presentation.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be closing this off.
Yes. Thank you, Swanand. Uh, Usha Jogalekar, are you ready now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please hurry up and share your screen, please.
Yep.
You can start from where you had, stopped, or you can just sum it up faster and go
Okay,
ahead.
ma'am. Yes, sure. Yes.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
just go
shared
through
now.
the titles of my presentation. So these are the different reasons for the flaws. And next, in the major attacks in cloud computing are denial of service attack, malware attack, man in the middle attack, and a zero-day exploit attack. So major goal of our review is how we can implement machine learning methods to avoid all such kinds of attacks. So there are different papers that we have studied more than 20 papers we have studied. Some of them I have mentioned here. They are using soft computing methods like PSO or neural network methods. So another one paper is using cloud-centric authentication for wearable healthcare monitoring system. The next one is CloudStrike, and RDFI technique is been used here. So different papers are mentioned in the reference section. Now let us see the issues in the existing system. When faced with the unpredictable danger posed by loopholes and vulnerabilities under the ecosystem of opening up and sharing, the system's capabilities are insufficient due to the lack of the intrinsic security. So this needs to be checked. Another issue is due to a lack of standardized formalization approaches, the end-to-end security needs to be processed by different domains, which are treated as an afterthought. Next one is we should think from the view of cyber criminals, so who will be trying to attack. Next one is due to time sensitive nature of the majority of mobile implementations, connecting to distant clouds and transferring computing work to distant cloud instances would cause a significant latency. One more disadvantage of cloud computing is that it is totally maintained and monitored by a service provider, giving the company less control over its infrastructure. So because of this can also be a security threat. Then what are the possible solutions for this? So it is critical to provide internet security and proactive protections against unanticipated assaults, as well as to enable dynamic co-demand security policy customization. To meet the demand for machine learning in cloud security, more detailed studies and empirical tests need to be advocated. Explaining the alternatives for a data intensive application consumer to make decision on scaling up or out from private to public clouds as well as community clouds to increase both performance and security is also very important. Then we can use a linear or exponential cost function based on security approach. Machine learning based methods can also be used. Security aware industrial control can also be used here. For machine learning, particle swarm optimization is majorly used in most of the researchers. One more thing is cloud of things centric that can also be used here. Then mobile cloud based architecture can be used for security threats. Cloud-based medical storage system is another application. Then the paper proposes a system which is known as security service chain embedding, which is written as SSC DMD. So here the network model is given at first a framework of dynamic SSC embedding for networks with NFV based security services in cloud data form. For SSD's DMP, there exists a small scale realistic network application scenario of cloud data centers, and we formulate an ILP model to exactly solve the optimization problem in these networks. So it is efficient particle swarm optimization based SSC dynamic embedding is proposed to decrease the time complexity. The simulation results indicate that the proposed algorithm can outperform 3 previous baseline methods, that is taboo search and 2 greedy based approaches. So in conclusion, we can say that SSC algorithm can be efficiently used for securing cloud systems. And these are the different references that we have used. If you have any questions, let me know.
Any questions, ma'am? Ma'am, any questions?
No questions, Deepika. We can, wind up
Yeah.
all this.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you, Shaf. Thank you. All right. So we have come to the closing of the session. I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentation and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We, on behalf of the whole team, thank you for the support during the ninth version of the conference and the previous eighth versions of the conference. We will be happy to have you in the 10th version as well in 2025. All the presenters would be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. Further, all the papers have already forwarded to the Springer board and the publication will be live within 6 months. Kindly cooperate with the team. I also thank our session chair, Dr. Bhumi Gupta, for chairing the session. Thank you for chairing the session, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
This is a token of appreciation to you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I would also request all the participants to, uh, switch on their camera for a quick snapshot, please. Just a minute. Yeah, all ready? Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. It was great to have you here. Thank you. Thank you. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you all.